highly sensitive person. Now, it has been around 9 years since I discovered the term highly sensitive person. At that time, I didn't really understand what it meant. But then 6 years ago, I had some time to do some soul searching, some inner reflections, and I just started doing a lot of research related to what it means to be a highly sensitive person. Now, all of us most likely have experienced at some point someone telling us like we shouldn't be so sensitive, or not understanding our emotions, or just not feeling completely understood. And of course that is a broader thing, because in our westernized societies, there's not a lot of space to be a sensitive person, because the world was not designed for us. We are a minority, around 15 to 30% of us, of the world population. Still is quite a big minority, but the world was not designed for us. So it can also be a bit challenging to sort of fully accept your sensitive trait, and that is also why it can be challenging to design your life in a way that sort of is adjusted to your sensitive nature. At least that is my own experience. It can be hard to live 100% in alignment with your sensitive nature. I think it requires certain jobs to be able to do that. And I think knowing what it means for you to be a highly sensitive person is the first step. And then, of course, the second step is finding a profession that suits you, but that also suits your sensitive nature. And I know it's possible. It's possible for all of us. Well, maybe not all, but that could be due to some other structural issues. But for those of us that are privileged enough, it should at least be an option. So having this sensitivity also means that there are certain things in our jobs that may cause overstimulation, stress, all of these things that are not good for us, in ways that it may not due to our colleagues that are not highly sensitive. So just to take an example, working in an open office space where there's a lot of noise, the lights are very bright, and these things that can cause some overstimulation. And then if we also live in a bigger city where we have to go through crowds of people and noise, then that of course also can cause overstimulation and drain our energy. Now, these two specific examples are some of the main energy draining sources of my daily life. Luckily, I have only 3 days a week where I have to go to the office. But still, it is enough to at least consider what it is that is beneficial for me, and to feel that I live completely in alignment with my sensitive nature. And of course it will be different for everyone what it means to live according to our nature. But I also think it's worth looking inwards and reflecting on it, so we can build a life that's good for us. So if you are watching this because you are struggling, like I sort of am, or like I'm on the journey of getting this right. We're all on the journey. To if you are struggling to live in alignment with your sensitive nature, what I have found beneficial is just knowing your triggers, sort of like what are your most sensitive to, what are your interests, how does your interest fit with a line of work, how would your ideal work day look like, just everything that makes it easier for you to realize what you need to adjust. Because if we know all of these specific things, like maybe you wish to work part-time, that would be better. Maybe you wish to live in a neighborhood that is not crowded. Maybe you want to work in a different city. Maybe you want to work more from home. Maybe just all of the imaginable things, that's all of the things that you can imagine that could tweak your life for the better. That is the beginning for us to just make choices going forward to live more in alignment. And as I said, I'm not there yet, and you should not expect of yourself that it will just take a few weeks or a few months. It could take some years to get to that point, but everything starts somewhere. So I hope my words were in some way helpful to you. If you have watched this far, I just want to send you peace and